Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, October 5th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. One thing I want to mention here about the ES, again, it's testing that major previous high there. That's that pre-COVID high, just shy of 3,400, but we'll call it 3,400. And that's where we're currently seeing weakness at the moment. After price failed back below that level, that area has been offered here, and now we're back into that zone now. So again, 3,400, 3,495 in that zone. Very, very important overhead resistance here. And one thing you're noticing here is price currently is trading a very narrow inside day at the moment, just 29% of ADR, by the way, at 21 points of range, 21.25 points of range. It's been averaging 74 points on a 5-day basis and 65 points on a 10-day basis. So right now, very, very narrow inside day. I would say the key zone to watch, continue to watch, is this level right there. That's the 92.5. This is your 3,400. And again, if price can get through that zone, it opens up the upper zone of this range here, which takes you as high as 3,575 to 3,600. But if there's a failure, again, as we've seen so far, this market just can't hold that zone. If we push up here and fail, that could be an indication that we're headed right back down to the previous month's low. So this is going to continue to be the key pivot to watch right there. And we'll see how the market responds to that zone pretty soon here. If we take a look at the NQ, very similar price action, only this one is already seeing weakness off its midpoint. So you can see right here that 11,600, very, very important. We talked about this previous month's midpoint right there. That was the 560 level. And we talked about how trading in that zone there, if we reject off that area, it could easily lead us back to the previous month's low price. So that could be in play right there. The previous month's low takes us into the 10,656 halves, and we still have the 10,615 down below, which is the FOMC key level from July, which is yet to be retested after it took off away from that level. So that still is a magnet below. So right now, the way this looks, Friday was a bearish outside day. Currently, bears are defending the previous month's close price. Another narrow range day right now, 31% of ADR. It's been averaging 320 points on a 10-day basis. So over the last 10 days, average over 300 points. Right now, it's at 98 points of range. So we could theoretically rally a little bit higher here and still find resistance at the previous session's mid, at the bottom of the pivot range, at 11.4. And that could open up a move down to 10.6. So there could be about a plus 800 down the way. And again, this all started with a rejection at 11.6. 11.6 could open the door to 10.6. And right now, bearish outside day, we could rally again as high as 11.4 and still be a selling opportunity anytime over the next day or two here from that perspective. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We are seeing a good trading range develop here. So you are seeing a range from 11.6 down into about 11.2, 11.140. So a break of 11.140 would open up the downside. Holding that zone could keep us in the range a little bit longer. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is already up right now 4.45%. Huge turnaround day here for crude oil. This thing has rallied right from Sunday evening's open and has continued to push higher. You can see here that I mentioned we had a good shot to get that 36.13, and we nearly got there. We got within 50 ticks of that level right there. 36.63 was the low, and today bouncing. We are now above the previous session's high price. That's going to be the very important level to watch there, the previous session's high, because if there's any failure to hold above that prior high, that's when we could begin to see some weakness here. The previous session's high is 38.65. 38.65. And again, if there's a failure to hold that level, we might start to see a failed new high develop again right? In this down move here, we've seen failed high here at the top of that range and lead to weakness. We saw a failed high there, lead to some weakness here. This was a failed high that led to a new low. So right now, again, 38.65 is going to be very important. If there's a failure to hold that level, we could easily drop back toward 37.95, which is the current day's midpoint, perhaps even lower. So right now, we'll see how this plays out. Keep an eye on the previous session's high for early directional bias this morning. But right now, very, very strong. All right, let's take a look here at gold futures now. This one is trading in a range that's 60% of ADR. It's up about 1/4% on the day at the moment and continues to see bullish tendencies here off of the key range low. We talked about price being in the best possible buy zone right here, and as long as price can reject 1874, we could get going higher toward 1981.70. We've gotten the squeeze here, very, very nice. I mentioned any return, even as deep as 1874, could still be a buy for a continuation in 1981.70. What we're seeing right now is early rejection of the previous session's low right there. That's a V-bottom reversal, a very strong rejection across time frames, whether you're in a minute periodicity, even up to a 15-minute, 60-minute, they all look like great reversals on the intraday. Additionally, on the weekly time frame, we've pulled right back to the zone that we talked about, which is the 1825 to 1850 zone, major CLVN in the chart. So all of this looks really, really good right now for a push higher. Failed new low right now in an uptrend is very good and very strong. We are above the previous session's midpoint. We have the potential to be a bullish outside day today if this thing really wanted to pick up a little steam. Again, that midpoint is the most important zone. That's the 1928s, I believe, 1926s. And above 1926 opens up the upper half of the month's range, which takes you back toward 2K. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.